Tony making food Mata, and this is Tony Talk, a modified view into the culinary industry. This is season 3, episode number 3, I do believe. And all the other podcasts that I was doing, it was just me talking about chef life. In season 3, I want to get more in-depth and interview people. So today I have Chef Gabriel.
How you doing?
This is Chef Gabriel. I have met him through social media, Detroit area chef page in particular. And this is the first time that I've actually met him. We've been hanging out for a little while today. And it's been kind of cool, and I kind of want to tell his story about him in chef life, him growing up and wanting to become a chef, and some of the trials and tribulations that he has had in his past due to having spent time in prison for mistakes that he's made, and how, you know, chef life and getting a degree in culinary arts kind of saved him a little bit and focused him and lasered focus in this young man. Well, not young man, you're a little bit younger than me, but like he has really lasered focused on his career. As always, I am simulcasting on my podcast on Anchor Radio. It's on my YouTube Modified Cooking. Type in YouTube search Modified Cooking, MATTAFIED. Modified Cooking, type that in, you'll see a picture of me in my chef hat. I'm up to 324 subscribers. I'm trying to get to that 1,000 mark, so as always, hit that like button somewhere, wherever it's at. It will be somewhere.
Hit that like button.
Hit that like button, especially hit that subscribe and share. And this is on my podcast, which is on, like I said, Anchor Radio. It's on Google Podcast, Spreaker Radio. It's going to be on iTunes soon. My iPhone is coming shortly. And then also it is on Spotify, so you can check that out. So we're going to kind of jump right into it. And yeah, so I would just like to introduce Chef Gabriel.
How you doing?
So just kind of tell us a little bit about yourself and, like, you know, kind of like growing up and like how'd you become in the restaurant? Like what happened? Like why did you decide to get that job in the restaurant?
So basically, I am 100% Puerto Rican, born and raised in Pontiac, Michigan, on a street that is all family owned. So I come from a very big family. My family is actually the biggest family in Pontiac.
Yeah. So
being a minority, we have to fight for being on top. So I come from a very good family. Basically, my mother, when I was a child, would put me on the countertop, and that's how I learned Puerto Rican cuisine. So she was the first chef that I learned from. Yeah. An amazing cook. Yeah. So my mom would never sell food. She would just invite people, and that's what I do. You know, I invite people to try my cooking, and I always take pride in putting a smile on people's faces through cooking. So at a young age, you were introduced to cooking Puerto Rican food from your mother, and that stems, like lots of cooks, that's what they, you know, get from their mom or dad or something. And she necessarily didn't want to sell it. She just wanted to invite people over for their meal. And I've said this in some of my other podcasts, and you probably feel this too, the same way. One of the most interesting things that you can do for a person is to, or intimate things that you can do for a person is cook them a meal. Like when you cook somebody a meal and it is like you put all your love into it, exactly. Like that love you can feel. You can feel that love that is portrayed in that food. So you felt that love, you felt that, you know, awesomeness, that feeling, and then you grew up later, have to represent your family, and then you decide to take a cook job somewhere or a dishwasher job somewhere, or? So basically, I started my career off. My cousin worked at a restaurant, and I started off as a dishwasher. So starting off as a dishwasher, I got to learn the ins and outs of the restaurant business. Yes. Later on, we had a incident where we all in the culinary field know that people sometimes have no call, no show. Yeah. Yeah. So I jumped into prep, started prepping bread, prepping prime rib, and put it in the oven. So after that, I went into time to another place, and the chef guided me. I started off as a dishwasher with a friend, and we knocked it out.
Yeah.
And then he put us under his wing, and started learning how to prep, learn knife skills, learn how to clean chicken, and so on and so on. So that's where I kind of grew up to learning to love food.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I also would watch Food Network and watch the Iron Chef competition. So later on, I grew to wanting to be a competition chef.
Yeah.
And compete.
Yeah.
So, you know, in the future, past that, I've entered 2 competitions and came out with medals.
Yeah.
So it's chef life to me. It means a lot to me.
Okay. So let's talk back. Let's go back to washing dishes. So you know, Chef Gabriel says he's washing dishes and no call, no show. You know, it happens, and people do no call, no shows, and you know, like who's going to cover that shift? And obviously, if you have a dishwasher, you know, you're going to ask him, hey man, you want to come? You know, will you help out on fry? Like, you know, and that's like the same thing that happened to me. You know, I feel that like me and you are kind of like had the same career path a little bit, like how we both came up and rose in the ranks of chefness and where we're at in culinary school and things like that. So you got promoted to cook. You were dishwashing. You got promoted to cook, and then you went to this other restaurant with your buddy, and then the chef took him under his wing. So the chef takes you under the wing, and like, how'd that make you feel about being like taken under your wing by this guy, or was it a guy? Was it a guy?
Yeah, it was a guy.
Okay. How'd that make you feel when he finally was like, hey, Gabriel, I'm going to show you what's up?
It felt awesome. You know, I felt valued. Ultimately, you know, I got to learn and grow.
Yeah.
And with that learning and growing, you learn to have passion for it.
Yeah.
So I learned to just cook, put my head down, and just cook, and wash dishes. You know, this place that I worked at, we would do big events, 2,000 plus, weddings and events, and bust my butt, you know.
Yeah.
In the dish tank.
Yeah, and we had a conversation on the ride over here about you know, cooks not wanting to wash dishes or being a dishwasher or something like that, and like some you know, it's like some guys that I've worked with, like they're like, I'm a cook. I'm not washing dishes. And it's like, okay, well, you're a cook and you're gonna say like, hey, I'm not gonna wash dishes. Well, like, who the fuck are you? Because like, you're gonna make me wash dishes, the executive chef. Like, yeah, I'll get in there, but like at the end of the day, like, you just showed me how you're not a team player and you're not gonna wash dishes. Exactly. So like, I mean, that ain't really cool. In my book, you know, and like I shouldn't have to wash dishes, but like I do, and like, and I had a podcast, season 2, about respecting the dishwasher, and like, you know, they get like hated on, like, oh, you're just a dishwasher, this, that, and the other. Well, like, maybe that person is just fine just washing dishes, and that's what they just want to do. You know, maybe it's somebody who's just doing it for a part-time job. Maybe it's an older man that just wants something to do. You know, it could be that burnout that is like, just that's the only job that they can find. But at the end of the day, that's kind of one of the other good things about working in the kitchen is that like there are spots for everybody, every walk of life in the kitchen. And we're going to touch a little bit of base on this in a little bit about Chef Gabriel and his past. That's a little bit later. So your work, like, so how many like cook jobs do you think that you've had?
I probably had about close to 30 cook jobs. 30
cook jobs, okay. And you've primarily always lived like in the Detroit area, Pontiac area?
Yes, the Oakland County, Metro Detroit area.
Okay. Okay, so all these jobs that you've worked, like, was it the most favorite job that you've like worked at? Like the best like cook job that like you think you've like had like overall, like ups and downs, but it was just good?
Probably one of the best places, and I'm not gonna say names, was this country club.
Yeah. Okay. So you worked at this country club, and it was like rock star. You know, the chef was good, the whole team was good, servers were good, everything was good.
Yes.
And when that was flowing, like how did that was good, right?
Yes. I mean, to me, ain't nothing like a kitchen where everything is going out perfectly.
Yeah.
Everything simultaneously it's like music to my
Yeah.
ears. And this is what I fell in love with. You know, when the chef calls for tickets and everything is spot on, it's like music. It's like an orchestra.
Yeah, yeah.
And this is what I grew to love. You know, I grew to just admire just working with my coworkers and putting out great food day after day. You know, sometimes we get tired.
Yeah.
We have our bad days. But ultimately, the ultimate goal is at the end of the shift, are you proud of the way you performed that night?
Yeah. So it's good that he said that about a symphony, if you will. And I feel the same way. There's nothing like going into service. Like you go into service and like you might be having a shitty day or whatever, but you go into service and your mise en place is good. You know, maybe it's bad, but you know, the guy before he didn't set up the station, but your mise en place is good. And then like you just go into that service and like if you have other problems that are on the outside, you know, you just go into that service and you rock out that service and everything's flowing. It's like a symphony. The expo is calling out, hey, how long on table number 2? How long on ticket 45? We got apps up for 32. I need hands over here. And the food runner is actually like right there. And, or a server says, I got hands. And because they're not hiding around the corner or outside smoking a cigarette, and then they know that like, you know, there's a food runner that runs their food and all they have to do is just serve food. But like that's like a good feeling, and that you touch base on a symphony. Like that's the I've quoted it as before too. You know, like New Year's Eve a while ago when I was working at the steakhouse at MGM, Chef Joel, he just like he was on Expo and it was magical. Like, it was like magical, and like we did nightly reports, and in the nightly report I kind of said kind of quote like, and you should have seen Chef Joel. He was up there like a conductor, conducting the symphony for on the Expo line, and that's good. That's really good that that you had that feeling and you had that passion about that makes you feel good, right?
Exactly, it makes me feel good. You know, when everything's just coming out perfect, it's pride. You know, we all take pride in cooking. You know, we have our bad days.
Yep.
Don't get me wrong. Yep. You know, outside of life, but when I step into that kitchen, it's the task is hand. Look at my prep list. Do I have to set up my line? What is missing out of my line? Talk with the chef, and then we have pre-shift.
Yeah.
Chef, I'm sorry, but we're gonna have to 86 this because you know we're out of it.
Yeah, or the product doesn't look great. And chef, like, I got this fish on my station. I don't really think that we should use this fish, like or something like that. And pre-shifts are always good to have. You know, I always like to do them, and especially if you have like a dinner service, like dinner service at 5, pre-shift at 4 or 4:30. Taste some food, or if it's at 4, exactly what you just said. Hey chef, this isn't right, or I don't want to have this, or I have a count. I have a 4 count on crab cakes. Exactly. You know, so then you say, hey chef, that I got this, and then they talk to the servers and they relay it to the servers, and it just works out a lot better having a pre-shift. You know, so that's good. So let's fast forward a little bit. You know, you're working in all these restaurants and all this stuff that's happening. You know, you have a big family, grew up in Pontiac. Would you say that like you kind of hung out with like the wrong crowd, or did you like often find yourself getting in trouble sometimes? Being like a chef and like our chef life, sex, drugs, and rock and roll or whatever. Do you feel that like you made some bad decisions in your life?
Exactly. You know, we're not all perfect. I'm not perfect by far. There's only one person that's perfect, and that's Jesus. But I made many mistakes, and sometimes simultaneously the same mistake over and over again. Yeah. And that goes to the saying, you know, the insanity. Yeah. You know, I didn't have my mind straight. Yeah. I was rebellious. I was a hardhead. You know, and going into the culinary field, we all have egos. Yes. So I had struggled a lot with a lot of that. With a lot of adversity. Yeah. Within myself. Yeah. And for now, it took, you know, several rock bottoms to find myself.
Yeah.
So, you know, like I said, we're not perfect. I struggled, but I've, you know, written my goals and I'm striving for them. Now, my career wise, am I happy? Yes, I'm happy, because each job that I've worked at, you learn something. You learn something from that chef. You learn something from the coworker or the sous chef. So it's always a learning process. As we know in the culinary field, for those who are watching, you know too, you know, we all learn from each other.
Yeah.
And it's a growing process. And it's teamwork. It's not yes, there is an executive chef. Yes, there's a sous chef. But who really is on the line cooking? Yeah. You know, those are your line cooks.
Yeah. So like, he made a good point about, you know, making a mistake. Okay, so you make a mistake, you make it again, you make it again, you make it again. You know, and then finally you learn. Finally, in life and in cooking. Me growing up, lower middle class, food stamps, you know, single income family. My parents still together. You know, loving family with my brother. Found it hard, and I was often rebellious too. You know, I was on probation from the time that I was 13 until 23. You know, just various drug charges, various you know, drinking charges. Just in the wrong place at the wrong time, hanging out with the wrong people. You know, and then I think it might have had something to do with working in the kitchen. Like at the end of the shift, like, you know, the dishwashers were gonna go smoke blunts behind the dumpster. You know, when I was younger, I don't do any of that anymore. But like, you know, like just that bond that you make, and I talk about that in the other episode about the bonds that you make. You know, like, you know, you're gonna go. There's a hot hostess. You know, you're gonna like, hey, I got some weed. We're gonna go smoke some weed, or you wanna go drink some beer, or something like that. You go to a house party. You know, and like me in my situations that I've gotten into, you know, being rebellious, like that, I've learned from that. So like, I've never really like spent any time in jail, or in prison, or anything like that, just because like I just my shit was, it's just like drinking and driving, or like getting caught with like an ounce of weed, or like something like that. You know, so like, you have had a couple of unfortunate events where you would have to go to prison. You know, we can edit this out, like, if we want to edit it out. But you know, like, I feel that like this is something that like I'd like to touch base on.
That's fine. I've been in trouble several times. You know, countless mistakes, being a hothead, being an addict. You know, because as you know, and everybody knows in the culinary industry, we have the leading drug use and alcoholism out of any other career.
Yeah. Because
of the stress levels that we deal with day in and day out.
Yes.
And this is something that really people don't touch bases on, through the mental health issues and the struggles that we have on a day-to-day basis of working in the kitchen. You know, the stress levels of, you know, having like 700 covers at a night.
Yeah.
So it's a struggle, and you know, we all struggle. We rock it out, but at the end of the night, you know, you still have that adrenaline pumping from working in the kitchen, and you know, we come home and we try to be normal, but we still have thoughts in our head. Yeah. About, you know, oh man, did I do this right? We're perfectionists. We're trying to make ourselves better every day. Yes. And so we always get into that mode in our head where we overthink things. Yeah. And I still have that problem. Yeah. You know, overthinking things, and I'm trying to correct those. But getting into trouble, I've been into trouble many a times. I remember my first time getting in trouble. I was 16, and I caught a retail fraud. Yeah. Like an idiot. Yeah. That was due to my thinking. I had distorting thinking. Yeah. So I ended up doing some jail time. They caught up with me when I was 18, and got arrested and did 30 days in Oakland County Jail. Yeah. And at that time, you know, I was young. I'm like, whoa, you know, 30 days is wow, this is crazy. You know,
Yeah.
It's a long time.
Yeah.
But it's actually not good. As I grew up and then countless mistakes. I ended up going to prison for my first time, and I caught my first prison charge, my first felony when I was 25 years old.
Yeah. Yeah.
I committed a crime. I went to prison for it.
Yeah. You paid your dues.
I paid my dues. But eventually, you know, I never lost sight of, you know, my passion. So I ended up working in the kitchen, and even in jail. You know?
So in jail, so you made this mistake, right? And you got caught. So you have to do the time, right? We're not going to go in detail whatever happened. It happened, okay? So it happened, and then you see this opportunity to work in the kitchen?
To work in the kitchen.
Okay, so explain to me, like, I would imagine, like, working, like, in, like, prison kitchen or jail kitchen or whatever, like, you need knives. Like, you need knives, and you need, like, stuff, and there's, how do they, like, hand out the knives, or do you...
Well, in the jail, they'll have a knife box, but it'll be strapped down to the table with a wire that's unbreakable. You have to cut it off. Yeah. But as I went into working into prison, we don't use a knife. Yeah. Because it's more dangerous. Yeah. It's a dangerous place. Yeah, yeah. So basically, we use a bench cutter to cut.
Okay. So, everything?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so bench cutter.
I don't know if anybody knows what a bench cutter is. It's just it's like a...
Or a bench scraper.
Bench scraper. Were they metal?
Yeah.
They were metal? Okay. So it's got a plastic handle, and then it's just like a straight blade, and it's just like, I don't even know. It's like a paint scraper, you know, and you have to cut all your vegetables and all your stuff with that?
Exactly.
Fuck.
But going into work in the kitchen, you guys got to understand, you know, in the correctional system, you know, we're cooking for 2,500 people. Yeah. Daily. Yeah. Yeah. You know, so it is stressful. Yeah. And guys, you know, get into trouble, you know, macho man, you know, mentality. So you see stuff, you know, and I've seen a lot of stuff, and I'm not going to touch bases.
Yeah. So imagine. So I would imagine that, like, okay, so obviously, like, kitchen chef life, egocentric chefs is a stipulation. You know, hotheads, short fuses. And then you put that into a population that's, like, elevated a little bit more. Like, that's got to be, like, that, like, I can't even imagine, but, like, I can only, like, kind of imagine, like, what that is. And then to, like, just be in that environment, like, you know, with, like, somebody saying, like, oh, well, you know, you didn't do that, you didn't make that right, or whatever, and then getting in an argument and just being hot-headed, and, like, you know, so yeah, I can imagine why you would only have a bench scraper. So, during that process, you said that you would cook for, like, what, breakfast, lunch, dinner for everybody? Okay. So, would you get, like, more time in the kitchen than you would in the cell?
Me personally, since I didn't want to be in the cell, stuck in my mind thinking, I've worked countless hours. Yeah. Countless hours. More hours than what I do out here. Yeah. And it's amazing because, you know, you try to just work the test and put out good food for the other inmates. And it was a blessing to be, you know, out the cell. Yeah. You know, some people don't get time out the cell. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, you know, going into Michigan Department of Corrections and going through the quarantine part where you got to go through the process. Yeah. I stayed in the kitchen. Yeah. And worked at least 15-hour shifts. Yeah. And then go back to the cell and go to sleep.
So not to cut you off. So here you are. Okay, you're in a situation. Okay, you're in a situation that you fucked up, and, like, now, like, you're like, fuck, what am I gonna do? Like, you're like, okay, like, I like cooking. Like, I've always been a cook. Now I'm in a situation where I can actually take this and I can spend more time on my craft, cutting with a bench cutter, you know, preparing a mass amount of meals for people, which is good. And for a period of time, like how long were you in there for?
My first time I did 16 months.
Okay.
My second time I did 8 months. My third time I did 2 years. And my fourth time, no, actually, my third time I did, I did 2 years.
Yeah.
And then my fourth time I did 6 months due to COVID.
Okay. So now you've seen a series of stuff that's happened to you, and you keep on going. You go back, and then you get out, and then you go back, and then you get out, and then you go back. And every time that you went back, did you just go straight back into the kitchen?
Basically,
or try to?
I would try to. I would sign up, and it's a process.
Yeah.
You know, you just have to wait till you're calling.
Yeah.
When your name calls, and you get an itinerary, and you wake up and you see itinerary at your door. Like, oh yeah, yes.
Okay.
I'm rocking it out. I'm going back to the kitchen.
Okay.
So different services like Airmark or Trinity would run the correctional facilities for food and beverage.
Okay.
And they would supervise. A lot of them wouldn't cook, and a lot of them had degrees.
Yeah.
But I find myself, once I did go to culinary school and I became ACF certified, and not to toot my own horn, but my certification surpassed theirs, even the food directors. So a lot of them envied that. So
here you are in this situation again, and you see these corporate chefs or these people who are your supervisors, because obviously somebody has to order all the food, right? So there's a manager or chef in charge of that system, of that kitchen, and then they come and they do all the ordering, they set up their pars or whatever, and then you have the supervisors, right, that make sure that you're doing your task.
Yes.
They make your prep list, or you make your prep list, or
no, they make the prep list.
Okay.
We come in, they tell us what we need. Sometimes they don't write it down.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's on a board, for your pars, what you need for the day. They have the menu, so you have to, just like in a regular operation, that's how it's ran. Yeah. But then you also have your correction officers.
Yeah, those people are walking around too.
Yeah, they walk around, do their rounds.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So basically, the correction officers were over them because they run the system. Yeah. So the supervisors sometimes will find themselves, in a bad day. Yeah. And talk to us like less than human beings. Yeah. That isn't cool. I mean, especially if you're in a situation like that. Like, exactly. I wouldn't want to put myself in that situation. But then that also goes to other chefs. It was very old school back in the day, talking down, like, what the fuck, you can't do this, that, and the other. And like me, like I found myself like that way sometimes. But like now, like I try to coach. I try to like teach, train, develop, try to coach and like say, hey man, like, like you might want to do it this way, or you might want to do it that way. Which I asked that question last night. Me and Chef Gabriel were both on a webinar through the ACF last night. And my question was like, how do you how do you deal with a student or sous chef that doesn't want to take constructive criticism? And the master chef was just like, this is what you got to do. And at the end of the day, like, he has a job to do. So like, if you can't do the job, then like, he has a job to do, and you can't do the job, then and if you can't take the criticism, right, then like, basically get the fuck out of the kitchen. Like he's only gonna try it so many times. Exactly. So like those are roles that you have. So like, but like being in that situation, like I guess you kind of have to tiptoe around it. So you find yourself like knowing more than some of the supervisors. So like how would that make you feel? And then like, would you be cocky because you know more? Like, oh, this motherfucker don't know? Or, I mean, you can be honest. I mean, honestly, it made me feel, good because I worked for that. Yeah. But some of these people will come in and won't even know what they're talking about. Or they're explaining it wrong, and I have to correct them. Yeah. But then it goes tit for tat. Yeah. So sometimes it's like learning how to fight your battles. You have to learn how to fight your battles. Yeah. Like I just can't, let's say I'm working under you, and you tell me to do something, I'm not going to argue with you because you are my superior. Yeah. You know what I mean? I have to take that. I had instances where I did feel like they were wrong, and we have, you know, open communication. But at the end of the day, you have to respect that. But do I have my own opinion? Yes, we all entitled to our own opinion.
Yeah.
So, you know, there are incidents where it does happen. You know, nobody's perfect, but that's why I'm in the learning process. You know, every day we learn.
Yeah, which is good. And if you have a problem, like I've always told my sous chefs, my supervisors, my people, you know, that work under me, like, if you have a problem with me, like, don't say nothing in the middle of a service, like, because that's just going to cause a bunch of shit. It's going to cause tension. You're going to fucking hate that person, and potentially a fight could break out or something. And then I've seen a couple of one of my other jobs years ago. I seen two of the line cooks like get at it, and I was just washing dishes, and it was like something stupid over like him putting something on his station or something like that. And before you know it, the kid's getting choked up, like being pushed up against the wall. Like I'm just like, what the fuck, you know? So like that shit can just fuel it. So just like wait till the end of service. But hey, chef, like maybe we should have did it this way or something. I will respect you a lot more if you say it to me that way, rather than trying to be a hothead in the kitchen. And that's something that I had to work on too, because like I used to be that guy too. That's why I asked you that, because I used to be that guy who like you don't know, like when the chef took over the one when I was a sous chef at the one place, he came in and I was just like, dude, fuck this guy. Who is he? Like, who does he know? He's not doing anything. He's not cooking online. He's not a chef. Fuck this guy. Exactly. He doesn't have any schooling. He ain't no fucking chef. Fuck that. And I was like pissed. Like I was rebellious against him. And Chef Darren, I have much respect for him now. He basically sat me down in the kitchen. And this is something that I've learned from him too. Is that like he basically sat me down not in the kitchen but in the office, like we were getting into it, and he said like we were like right in the midst of it, and he said we need to go to the office right now. And I was like all right, I guess I'm fired. So sat down, and he basically said, look, you got two options, like you can be on my team or you can be off my team. Like I don't care, like you can be on my team or you can be off my team, okay, or you can continue to be aggressive. And you will get fired eventually. So are you going to be on my team or are you going to be off my team? And I was like, I want to be on your team, chef. And then after he sat me down and said that, that opened up my eyes to things, to that whole situation and things like that. So do you ever wonder what it's like to be a chef? Or you think you have what it takes to work in a restaurant? Or ever wonder what really goes on in the back of the house? Well then, you should tune into Tony Talk, a modified view into the culinary industry. Each week, I go over a topic or a situation or something that you see in the kitchen every other day. I give you the inside scoop on what it takes to work in a restaurant. And I go over the daily struggle that is known as chef life. So tune in and get modified. You go to prison a couple times. When did you go to school? Like you went to Dorsey. You're very, very, very Dorsey. Yes, like gung ho. Like like that is your school. That's your guys. That's that. So you went to Dorsey. When did you go to Dorsey?
I decided to go to Dorsey after I got out of prison the second time.
Okay.
I got tired of working in the industry and seeing other guys getting paid over me and we do the same amount. Yeah. So that's where certification or degrees matter. Yeah. And when I was younger, I thought I was a hot shot. Yeah. And by far, was I wrong? Yeah. I was wrong. Yeah. But I went to culinary school and started. Then I hicked up and went back. Yeah. But I always had that, I'm going to finish. I always had that strive, I'm going to graduate. Mm-hmm. This is my goal. Mm-hmm. And I accomplished that goal. And it took a lot of mess-ups, but I kept going to school because I wanted to graduate and finish. And what I found out was they kept letting me go back because they knew the passion and that my grades were good. So I had to sign up for financial aid. Mm-hmm. And finally, after 2 years for it's a less than a year program. I finally made it and graduated.
Yeah. So I am like, he's Dorsey. Like, he is Dorsey 100% Dorsey, and I am Schoolcraft. Schoolcraft. Like, both programs are similar with their teachings. You know, but like, that's me. That's what I chose, and he's Dorsey, which is fine. You know, the curriculum that they have to meet is very similar.
So they're both of them are accredited through the ACF.
Yeah.
And the reason why I'm like that is because the chefs there, and I know as well as, you know, Schoolcrafts, the instructors, they do care.
Yeah.
They want to see you guys succeed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And, you know, like Chef Abby, Chef Matt Schillick, and, you know, all these chefs that I learned from. Yeah. They still care. Yeah. And they still reach out.
So Dorsey is ACF certified, American Culinary Federation certified. Same with Schoolcraft. So there's a curriculum that they have to meet to get to these certifications for that, which is really good. Okay, and so here's an example of somebody who you messed up, but like you had passion. Like, you had passion. These chefs, they saw this passion in you, and they, I don't want to say made an exception or like whatever, but like they pushed you to get through to get your degree. Okay, and I had a chef like that as well, who basically fired me because I was a fuck up, and told me like he's not going to hire me till I get my shit together. 10 years later, I said, "Hey chef, got my shit together." He finally gave me an opportunity to be a sous chef, and that was great. So like that's that. So you graduate, you get that fucking degree, you get that, and like what was the feeling that you had?
I actually, honestly. I broke down and cried after I crossed that stage. Yeah. My family was there. My fiance was there. I even had another chef come and, you know,
support you.
Come and support me when I crossed that stage. Yes. And it was it's one of the most proudest moments in my life. Yeah. Because coming up from Pontiac, being a minority. Yeah. Being through the struggles of, you know, what I've been through, even though my family worked hard for themselves, I finally reached that pole where, you know, in my family that, yes, I have a degree. Yeah. And I come from a lot of people in my family that have degrees, like my auntie graduated from Michigan State. My sister graduated from Eastern Michigan. Mm-hmm. Most of my family worked for the Big Three Autos. Yeah. So you felt like you had to prove something. Exactly. Like you had to prove something to yourself, not only but to yourself, but to your family. So you get that degree. And you break down, you cry. Right? Everybody cries, you know, and go crying and walking. You know, go crying and walking for 5 seconds and get back on the fucking line. There's no crying in baseball.
Yeah. So that feeling that you had, like I said, like we're kind of similar a little bit. Like I felt that way too when I graduated culinary school and I walked across that. I never thought that I was ever going to be able to do that. Like I never thought that I was, in my mind, I never thought that I was going to do that. I thought I was going to be a burnout loser for the rest of my fucking life. And now I have this certificate. So you have, or this degree. So you have this degree. Now you have this pride. Okay, now you have this experience. Okay, like you have line cooking experience. You have banquet experience. You've cooked for inmates. And like, you know, thousands of people preparing all this stuff. So you have all this experience. So now when you have your degree, do you feel that like with all that experience and degree, like you had a better shot than other people?
Basically, honestly, yes.
Okay.
Because that's what employers look at.
Yeah.
They look at, do you have a degree? Do you don't have a degree? Do you have certification? Do you don't have a certification? Yeah. I had instances where I got shut down because I was a minority. Yeah. I had instances where I didn't have a degree. Yeah. Can I perform? Yeah. Can I complete the task at hand? Yeah. So when I stepped into a role, basically, I've eliminated that. Yeah. Because I know what it feels like to be shut down. Yes. And I don't like that. We all don't like that feeling. Yeah. Yeah. But that's something that we have to adjust to. Yeah. But to me, yes, certification, degrees, it does matter because you took the time and effort to invest in yourself.
Yes, yes. You're correct with that. I didn't want to get my CSC. I didn't want to get it, but I was forced to get it from my employer. And with getting that, they gave me a nice incentive for getting that. They also paid for it, and they did that, which makes me more valuable. And before the whole Corona thing happened, I would not have departed the employer that I was with, but they're not open, and I have to feed my cats. So I took this other position, but one of the things that the chef said, when he interviewed me, he's you stood out because not only do you have this experience, but you also have a degree and you have a certified sous chef certificate, which is kind of good. So that makes you set apart from everybody else. So, and what the chef said last night on when we were doing that webinar is that it keeps you sharp. These competitions will keep you sharp, and it kind of maybe made me think that I might want to do a competition, so that sets you apart. But then let's talk about the other things too, that and how it makes you feel. So when you apply for a job and they know that you're a felon, how does that make you feel? And do you think that has held you back a little bit?
In certain aspects, when it's big corporations like hotels, arenas, or stuff that has HR, they do background checks.
Yeah.
And you get shut down. But it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
There's plenty of jobs. Our industry there's always jobs. There's always, I look at Craigslist and you can see countless and countless of ads daily that's posted.
Yeah.
But it does help, to have all that.
Yeah.
But have I been shut down? Yes. It does matter, and it does help to have those degrees and everything in place.
So yes, felon, big places, corporations, they won't really hire you because they do have the background check, and then some of them do actually have programs and stuff. Happy Ford Museum, they strictly hired felons through the program, but I don't know how they had that. There's a garden, a local community garden. I can't remember the name of it, but they do that too, and they particularly hire felons to do their gardening when it's strict, and they get benefits, but if you fuck up one time, you're out. You are out. Okay, so you have that stuff that's holding you back. However, you have went above and beyond. Okay, because some people could have been fuck it, my life's over, but you're fuck it, I'm gonna do this. So now you have this, and it's pushing you, and you're going for these other certifications. And we talked about going for your certified sous chef.
Yes.
Yeah. So you're gonna start training for that and get that going.
Yes, I'm currently working on doing a competition in March. I'm gonna be doing a category K.
Yeah.
Contemporary hot food.
What, March
13th and 14th.
I thought I had it. Yeah. I thought I had it marked on my calendar.
So basically, I'm practicing and developing my menu on that. I'm gonna be practicing sometime next week, probably on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Certification wise, I'm waiting for the next test site to be posted.
Yes.
But I'm actually next week Friday going to see another certification process be done.
Okay, so you're going to actually witness it.
I'm going to witness it, and I'm going to help out, clean dishes, whatever needs to be done.
Yeah.
I'm going to do.
So that's a good idea, because me, I when I went to my CSC, I'm I fucking got this. I'm totally making food mata. I got this, and a week before, I cut my finger, and I had a Band-Aid and I had a glove, and then I had another glove on it, and they kind of said that wasn't the right way, that I should have had a Band-Aid and a finger cut on it, and a glove over that.
Exactly.
And I was just all right, well, I didn't know that. That was strike one, and then the other one was when I told you that, when I put the hot soup, or I made a stock, and I put it on the bottom shelf, and there was a head of lettuce that was over here on the top shelf, and they got me for cross-contamination. And that was a blow to my ego, when they were dude, you failed. And then but criticism. They gave me the constructive criticism at the end. They critique you, and I brought too much stuff. I didn't know, but it's you have to bring just the right amount of stuff.
Exactly.
That's practice. So with you, going to help out and watch this, like, you have a better opportunity
Exactly.
to see how to obtain this goal that you've had. So like with these goals that you've set, like I've watched you, I've seen you develop from afar. He's always putting himself out there on Detroit Area Chef page, on his personal Facebook page. Like, anybody need any help, this, that, and the other. Very humble. Like I see that, and then like when you do like he does cooking demos on on Facebook Live, or just whatever, which is good because like that shows the passion that you have for our craft, and the fact of the matter is that like yes, you had these things that like held you back, but now like you're able to laser focus on these goals. And now do you think that moving forward that you would make some of the mistakes that you made in the past, like trouble wise, or like you're just like I'm fucking done with that, I'm focusing on this, and this is fucking how it's gonna be?
So yes, going into that is I'm tired of living that lifestyle that I lived for so long.
Yeah.
And being the black sheep of the family.
Yeah.
A lot of my family members, they want to see me strive. They want to see me get there.
Yes.
I get constructive criticism from all the time.
Yeah.
Do I accept them? Sometimes I don't. I'm thick-headed.
Yeah. I think a lot of chefs. I think a lot of chefs are.
Yeah. But I'm getting there.
Yeah.
And it's a process. The process is: do I accept who I am?
Yes.
Do I correct the things that I've done in the past?
Yes.
Now that's my past.
Yeah.
My future is my future.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to define my future. My past, sometimes I look at it and I reflect on it.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to make myself a better chef and a better man, and a better member of society. So going into that is I'm striving for perfection, striving to reach the goals that I have set myself. Now, a lot of them I know is going to take some years. I want to become the first certified, or actually the first Puerto Rican to reach the certified master chef.
Yeah.
And gain that title.
Yes. Now, that is very, very hard. The master chef course is super hard, and like I know that you'll get there if you just focus. For me in my career path, I am not doing that. I am not going down that road. That's not in the books for me. Maybe, but like it's not. But like, so this is something that's driving you. Like these certifications are like a silver lining, and that's good. Like I like that that you're doing this, and like these things that were going to hold you back. Like it doesn't really seem like you're letting them hold you back. Now it is a struggle, and I've struggled with alcoholism and drug addiction when I was younger, and it is a struggle. And then not having a license for a long time, that was a struggle. That's a struggle. And like a chef who is out there trying to take the fucking bus to get to work and then get home, or like what? Well, when that was like we had buses, we didn't have Ubers like back in the day. So like. It just shows the determination that somebody has to get to work, and it's hard, like, right? It's hard, like, not getting to and from work, right?
Yeah, it is. But luckily, I have family members that, that always instilled education, and I dropped out and then finally, went back to school.
Yeah. And
got my degree.
Yeah.
Went to culinary school. But they help out because they want to see me reach those goals.
Yeah.
So this is the reason why, I'm still struggling. I've never had a license.
Yeah.
How can you suspend somebody that never had a license?
Yeah, and they make that whole license thing, like with the DUI thing, so hard to get back. And then like the governor just pulled some stuff back. Trying to work some stuff out, but like if you had DUIs like 20 years ago, why the fuck can't you get your license back?
Exactly.
And like why do you have to go through all these steps and stuff like that?
So basically, it is a struggle. It's a struggle day in and day out. But I never forgot, where I came from and those goals that I want to reach.
Yeah.
And to obtain and to complete.
Yeah.
So it's a struggle. I sit, studying at night, looking at my menu, trying to figure out what's going to be my best for competition. I read. My auntie got cookbooks and cookbooks and cookbooks that she
old school cookbooks.
So now I'm gonna start. I have that at my advantage. To
Yep.
look at and research and develop. I have a mentor that's pushing me to strive. Taking these.
That's with Chef Matt.
Yes, Chef Matt.
And Chef Matt is really, really good chef, and he's doing lots of stuff for the community, lots of stuff with Dorsey. Big shout out to him. He was doing something with like a food drive. That man is like doing a lot for the culinary community, especially with the restaurants being shut down for COVID.
Exactly.
He's doing a lot. He's a mentor towards a lot of people. He pushed me. I talked to him about the CSC. And he pushed me and told me what to do. Some of his students, can't remember their names right now, which makes me feel stupid, but I employed them at LCA, and I was talking to him to try to get what they need to get their externship, this, that, and the other, because I want them to succeed. So I know him not personally, through networking, Detroit area chefs, and he's kind of pushed me to get a little bit better.
And that's what it's all about. To me is the networking. I am so fortunate that our career, our industry, we're always asking what can we do. I'm missing product here. Do you guys have some? The social media is such a big help. And it can
also be a big bad thing when somebody fucking rips on you about cutting an onion. Like the one time I commented on your thing about cutting an onion, and I just showed you my YouTube video. I was not even trying to talk shit or anything.
Right.
And you were like, I've been doing this. I've been doing this for, and I was like, all right. I just left it at that. But it was just but then the one time when I seen you doing the demo on how to fillet the salmon or the fish that you were doing, you were kind of doing it a little bit wrong, but you were still doing it, and you were putting your fucking balls out there, right? You were putting them out there, and sometimes chefs are really shitty, and they'll just critique you, but at the end of the day,
I've learned.
Do you see those motherfuckers doing that? Not really. Those guys who, I had a guy troll me for a while, and I'm just dude, why are you trolling me, man? Are you that upset with your life? He's a chef's, he's not even in the fucking area anymore. I think he's the reason why the first Detroit area chef page got shut down was because of him. But he was trolling me and talking shit to me, and I'm just dude, what the fuck, man? I'm just trying to.
People make mistakes. People, I don't know it all. I'm still young in my career. Even though I graduated culinary school and I ended up getting my first certification as a certified culinarian, I'm still learning. I do not know it all.
I'm learning every single day too about these things. That's kind of where it's always always and ever. You're always learning. You're never gonna know everything. Exactly. What's that?
So basically, touching bases with that is, I wanted you guys to know that, we all struggle. We're not perfect. I'm striving for perfection, but I'm going to learn those processes that I have to get to reach those goals.
Yes.
And as well as I'm going to push you. What I mean? You see me. I see you. Every chefs, it's the networking process. I am so grateful for the American Culinary Federation and the chefs that are in there in the networking. They push. They're pushing me. They comment. I can reach out to any one of them when I'm having a problem, and I can reach out to you, and you'll answer. You call me at 5 o'clock in the morning. And I'm there, hey, what's up? And we're doing this. And I think this is basically to help somebody else out in the long run, because I've struggled with adversity, and I've struggled with a lot.
So if there's anything of a prime example of somebody that can do it, if you're feeling like that, I have these felons, or I had these problems, substance abuse, whatever. Chef Gabriel over here kind of just dove into the culinary scene, started laser focusing on his certificates, and he's excelling. He's going to go get the CSC, he's going to train. So that's something that if you're ever down, if you think that you can't do it, you're a prime example that you can still do it. Like, it's fucking tough. Like, you know, it is hard, and you want to give up, but, like, you need to keep on fucking pushing, and you need to keep on going at it and get it. And, like, that's, like, really, like, I just wanted to tell Chef Gabriel's story, and, like, how, like, if anybody thinks that they can't do it, like, this guy right here, he's rocking it out, picking up shifts here, picking up shifts there, just doing it and trying to make it happen because he has these goals, and that's what he fucking wants to do. So you can't say can't. It's like do or do not. There's no try. You know. So with that being said, we're gonna kind of wrap it up here a little bit. But like I always want to end on a couple of different questions that I ask. Okay. So what is like one thing that you hate about being a chef or working in an industry? Like one thing that you just dislike about it?
One thing is I constantly get asked this question: what is your favorite dish? Basically, I have no favorite dish. I have no signature dish. I'm a chef. Yeah. I'm a chef de cuisine. I cook different cultures' food. You know? From going to restaurant to restaurant to restaurant, you learn. Yeah. There is no favorite, dish. Yeah. There is no go-to dish.
So I get that asked often as well. What's your favorite dish? And I usually just say soup because I'll just cook whatever. Like, and I say soup because like it's easy. It's whatever you have left over in the pantry. Like, that's what you make. We have to pause real quick because I have to stop this. Okay, sorry about that. I had to reset my podcast. So we're talking about a couple things, like things you hate. So you hate when people ask you that. Like, I fucking hate that too. I really, really hate it. Like I said, I always make soup. Like that's it. Like soup. Like, or whatever. I just want to cook good food. Blue collar food for the blue collar person. You're very passionate about like your Puerto Rican heritage and that food, and that's like the food truck idea that you have, and you want to do that food truck. If anybody wants to do a food truck or whatever, this young man over here, he is trying to network that and get a sponsorship to run his own food truck. Just let you guys know. Also, let's say so things that you hate, things that you love. What is one thing that you love about the kitchen? What is the one thing that you fucking just love about being a chef?
One thing I love about being a chef, me personally, is the kitchen's a happy place for me.
Yes.
No matter what's going on in my life, I can go to the kitchen and cook. That's why I always cook at home. Yeah. That's why you guys always see me live in it on Facebook Live cooking. But I do it, because I have the passion for it. So being a chef, to me, in my own words, and the love that I have for it is just, it's amazing. Yeah. I wouldn't change being a chef for no reason. Yeah. Not no factory, not no multi-million-dollar company. Yeah. Making money. Yeah. I'll never give it up.
So the thing that you love about it is just like the passion, like the passion and
passion for food.
A lot of like chefs, like good chefs, should say that too. And that for me, it's exactly what you said. Like the kitchen is the safe haven. The kitchen, everything else, melts away, and that's why I'm addicted to my work, and that's why I just work. So I don't have any other problems if I'm at work. So that's good. I really, really, really love that you said that. And then like you kind of already said it. Like, would you see yourself being anything else?
No, I wouldn't.
No.
I have family members be like, you need to get a job. You need to get a job. Forget about the industry. You need to get a 401k. And
yeah, but like if you can get 401ks, and like despite like the shit that you've gone through to get to where you're at right now, and these fucking corporations that have their background checks. And yes, I get they get their background check, but like if they see somebody that is trying to fucking reform themselves, like. Then they should give them the fucking opportunity to do that. Like, bottom line, like, and like with me, like I feel bad for that person who is generally trying, and they just the society keeps on fucking knocking them down and kicking them down, and then what are they gonna do? They're just gonna fucking go back to their old ways because fucking society won't accept it because some sort of big corporation won't fucking let them work, and they won't let them prove themselves. And this man right here, not young man, sorry, but this man right here fucking has gone to hell and back, and he's doing his fucking shit, and your big corporation is going to hold him down and not allow him to get some of that 401k and that health insurance. However, on the side note, some good privately owned companies do offer fucking 401k. They do offer health insurance. They do offer that. You know, so like for some family members, get a real job or like whatever. Like being a chef is fucking like a real job, and it's fucking, and it's hard. It's stressful. But I fucking love it, man. I fucking love it. Like, yeah, that's good. Yeah, so, once again, this is, Chef Gabriel. I'm very, very happy to have him on. First time actually meeting him, like I said, we've social media, the network, and stuff. I'm really happy that you came on board, had an opportunity to tell his story, about the trials and tribulations that he's been in. Very, very excited for him to promote himself and go to that go to that K training or go to that K competition. Like, you know, that's good. That's good. You got 3 months. 3 months to fucking prepare for that. I know you'll do it. So
you guys can follow me.
Yeah, follow him. Plug him
on Facebook. I'm on Twitter. I'm on what else? Instagram.
Yep.
Chef Gabriel Estrada. Gabriel Luis Estrada on Facebook. Instagram is Gabriel _Estrada _CC. I'm on Snapchat, LinkedIn, and I'm always posting a hashtag. And this is one meaning that I wanted to basically touch base on.
Yeah.
I created this hashtag called Chef Life Matters.
Okay.
To piggyback off of Black Life Matters, but most people don't understand what Chef Life Matters means.
Yeah.
Chef Life Matters means to me is a lot of people don't understand what we go through on a daily basis. Yeah. So that's why I put it out there.
Yeah.
You know, I put myself out there. I'm not perfect. I made mistakes. Mm-hmm. But you guys got to see what I'm striving for. And Chef Life does matter.
Yeah. It does. Yeah. I'll add all those links in the podcast and in the link description in the YouTube. If you subscribe, maybe if you hit that button over there or wherever I'm going to put it, whatever. So, yeah, definitely follow him on all the socials. You know, see him progress in his career. And then, once again, you can always find me on my YouTube channel, Modified Cooking, MATTAFIED, Modified Cooking. Like I said, this is Tony Talk, a modified view in the culinary industry. It's on iHeartRadio podcast, Google podcast. It will soon be on iTunes podcast. So, yeah, I'm really excited to put this out. So once again, I have Chef Gabriel, and I'm Tony Making Food Mata, and this is Tony Talk, a modified view in the culinary industry. So thank you, and have a good night.
Good night, you guys.
Yeah, man.